And welcome back to STL Sports Productions. I'm Joel Anderson, and I'm here with Jeff Hayes. Jeff is the president of Mid-States Hockey. And Jeff, you got quite an event going on here today. Why don't you tell us about it?
It's a great time. We got perfect weather, perfect day, sunny. Probably 35 degrees. So
20 degrees warmer than last year.
Yeah, it's about 20 degrees warmer than last year. The wind's down, so yeah, we got great attendance. So we're doing well today.
I remember reading somewhere that Coach Mick O'Halloran came up with this idea years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was July of 2008. I got a call from Ben Lamperti, who was coaching at Oakville at the time, and he said, "Hey, one of our guys, Mick O'Halloran, wants to coordinate a Winter Classic," and I said, "Well, let's get together and have lunch and we'll talk about it." And Mick is super enthusiastic, one of the most enthusiastic people that you'll ever come across. And Mick had done some research, and he saw where they did some Winter Classics in Minnesota, where they actually convert a lake to an ice rink, build the boards, the stands, and everything right in the middle of this lake, and they have this small town high school rivalry game. So Mick kind of came up with the idea, and with the NHL's success with their Winter Classics, we thought, obviously this is the only rink in St. Louis that doesn't have a roof that's outdoors. So Mick came up with the idea, and we just kind of said, hey, we're going to roll with it.
And this week is the end of regular season, so you go into playoff season starting next week. We had Craig on board last night and interviewed with him, so he went through the new format for the playoffs. It's really interesting. I think it's a great idea to do the round robin. I think that'll create a lot of drama. And
it'll be neat.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it for sure.
Absolutely. What are some things fans can expect as we get into the semifinals?
Well, I think the first round is going to be something to see, because you're going to have teams that have an opportunity to advance that maybe in previous years may not have had an opportunity to advance. The semifinal weekend is one of my favorite weekends of the year. It's almost second or tied for first with this one, because we have 4 games at Chesterfield on our Hardee's Iceplex on a Saturday, and those are all the second games of the Wickenheiser and the Challenge Cup. So that ends up a great day of hockey. It's 4 games that start at noon and go to 9 o'clock at night. So and then we'll culminate with March 4th being our championship game at Scottrade with the Wickenheiser Cup and the Challenge Cup, and the Founders Cup Championship I think is slated for the 19th at this point. So we're excited to get it going, especially with the new format.
Absolutely. And I think if I remember correctly, Craig mentioned that for the Challenge Cup, you're going to go from 16 teams down to 12, just because historically those teams 13 through 16 really didn't advance too much. So I think that really, to your point, kind of levels the playing field and keeps everybody in the game and creates a lot more drama, a lot more excitement.
Well, that was part of the realignment, is we realized the disparity between 12 to 14 versus 11 to 9 or 8 was pretty great. So that we made that change, and I think that'll benefit too. It was always kind of a battle for the Wickenheiser teams. The teams were terrified they were going to end up 16, and the team that ended up 17, they were thrilled to death. So yeah, so we're excited to see it, and I can't wait to see how the new format turns out and what the feedback is on it. So.
Now, I'm assuming the next couple of days, you and your team, your board members will start with the putting together the seeds and that type of thing.
Yeah, the way it happens is tomorrow at 9 a.m. there's a group of people that'll show up out at Maryville Center, and they'll basically start, and everybody's got their notes and their power rankings and whatnot, and they'll go from 1 to 40 and hash out, okay, I got so-and-so at number 1, I got so-and-so at number 2. It goes all the way to number 40. Some of them you get 20, 30-minute discussions on whether one team should be number 10 or number 11. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of people that come to a lot of games and watch a lot of hockey in order to formulate that opinion on where a team should be. So that'll happen tomorrow morning, and at around 1 o'clock I'll get a text from somebody that says, hey, these are the rankings of 1 through 40, and we'll roll with it. Then we'll start scheduling games.
So you won't be in that meeting?
Well, I'll probably be here cleaning up, and it depends on how much help I have tomorrow to clean up and how tired I am at that point, whether I'll swing by that meeting or not. But we have plenty of board members that have done it a lot longer than I have on that seating committee, and it's just one more opinion in the room that I would be. And there's a lot of people that have watched as many games, if not a lot more than I have, that can formulate those teams. So I trust those guys to do it right. And usually, if you look historically back, especially in the Challenge Cup, it's usually the 1 through through 4 teams that get to the semifinals. So that just proves that they get it right, pretty often. So
You can't argue with their success.
right, sure.
They've done a great job with that. And you're not to release any trade seekers or anything, but if you were on that board, do you think last night we were watching 1 and 2 with the SALU and the CBC game?
I would say that definitely top 5, top 4 probably. That was an exciting game. It came down to the third period. It was even through 2, and 6 minutes to go, and it kind of broke it open. But I know SLU's got an injury to one of their goalies that is kind of hampering them a little bit. They're hoping they might get him back, midway through the playoffs, but don't know how promising that is. But yeah, I bet that those are two of the top 5 teams in Lindbergh and Oakville are near the top that played the game that you guys had. They're near that top 5 or 6 as well, so it'll be exciting.
Oh, absolutely, a lot of great competition, and I just from year to year it just seems to go up a notch. It's been a lot of fun being part of, and we certainly appreciate you guys allowing us to be part of. Our pleasure. Well, unless you have anything you want to add.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Catch us on Fox Sports. We'll have our championship game on Fox Sports on March 4th, and that's on Fox Sports. It's a huge deal. We have a naming sponsor this year in Bommarito Automotive Group. They stepped up and in partnership with the Blues and Cardinal sponsorship, they wanted the naming rights to our event too.
It's not a cheap event to have.
No, it's definitely not. And the Blues have been great. It's super accommodating with Scott Trade Center for that day, and with the shuffling of the schedules that the NHL had to go through, it was almost like the NHL took second seat to our mid-state schedule. So it worked out really, really good. We're anxious to have it. The battle with Fox Sports is how Fox National, where they want to place us. There's some conflict with basketball on the main Fox Sports channel, which might throw us to an alternate, but we're fighting hard to get it on the main channel, which we'll see. And then obviously you'll be at the semifinal, so you'll be able to watch right here on STL Sports Productions on the semifinal, so that'd be great.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. Again, Joel Anderson, STL Sports. Jeff Hayes, thanks for your time.
No problem. Thank you.